correct? He's Mark Jackson, former Golden State head coach. Mark, let me start there. As a coach, when we talk about distractions, do you gauge, weigh in, risk, reward with just how good somebody is and maybe the distraction that they bring or the baggage they bring to a team?
I'm sorry. Thanks for having me. You said, do they?
Coaches. Do coaches,
Okay.
Do you have to look at it, from a coaching perspective?
Absolutely. There's no question about it. And you can't just look at it from the Michael Sam's point of view. You also got to look at it from the Johnny Manziel point of view. There are people that passed on him because of the media attention that would have taken place. And no matter who you're talking about, you always look at risk versus reward. And I think that certainly plays a part in it. If Johnny Manziel had a spotless, clean image, there's a chance he would have gone earlier. I think the way he lives his life played a part in him hanging around and the selection being later than it was. So it certainly plays a part, and that's why you do background checks on every single body that you're interested in drafting.
What about philosophical beliefs in a coach to a player or player to another player?
Well, it exists now in certain situations. That doesn't mean everybody does it, but certainly it comes into play, not just in your drafts, also in your hiring. Whether it be a coach, a GM, no matter what, that's the way this world works. So that's why it's important. I tell youngsters, I got nephews, I got kids. You got to watch what you put on your Instagram, on your Twitter, because at the end of the day, you're telling a story of who you are, and people are going to pay attention to it when it comes to hiring you.
Do you think this is taken out of context or bigger than what it needs to be with Tony Dungy? These comments saying that, look, there's distractions there, and the fact that he's a seventh-round pick. I wouldn't bring him in. As a coach, I'm not going to bring him in. Where do you stand with that?
Well, I think Tony Dungy, Coach Dungy's record speaks for itself. He's an incredible man, an incredible leader, and I take what he said exactly what he meant. It's obvious that it was a distraction. Here's a guy that was sixth, seventh round pick and had a reality show. As a team, that's a distraction. That's something that you add. I don't want, and it's not who he is or what he believes or how he lives his life. Just take it for face value. A sixth or seventh round pick that comes in and has a reality show. Believe it or not, that has an impact on your entire team.
Would you care if your star player was gay?
Anybody could play for me. Anybody can play for me. At the end of the day, that's not an issue. Yeah, I have a church in Southern California. I got a little bit of everybody in there. We're all ex somebody, or we all have different titles or different issues. At the end of the day, the bottom line is, can you play? People asked me last year, could Jason Collins play for me? I said no, but because Jason Collins, in my mind, couldn't help my basketball team as a basketball player. It had nothing to do with whether he was gay or straight. So people ended my sentence with he couldn't play for me. Instead of listening to my answer, the bottom line is he couldn't play, in my opinion, for my basketball team as a player.
I thought that this becomes a bigger issue, Mark, because you've had teammates who were gay. Reggie Miller, I think Reg talked about this. Charles Barkley certainly talked about this. It's when the media starts to ask you about it is when it becomes uncomfortable. As far as having a gay teammate, I don't know if that matters to you guys if the guy is going to contribute, if he can play. Am I wrong in that assessment?
Well, at the end of the day is whether a guy can play. And obviously it's a different situation. I played in Utah, and John Amici, who came to let the world know that he was gay after that, played on that same team.
Did you know it at the time?
There were people that said different things. You didn't know exactly. So I couldn't sit there and tell you yes. Mm-hmm. There were people that said it. There were people that felt that way. But John Amici was a good teammate, and you move on. At the end of the day, is can a guy play? Can a guy help your basketball team win ball games? Because I don't just look at it that way. Can a guy who's on drugs or cheating on his wife or a bad person or an atheist? I mean, at the end of the day, We all are work in progress, and we all have different beliefs.
He's Mark Jackson, former Golden State head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. All right. If you're still the coach of Golden State and you can get Kevin Love, but you have to give up Klay Thompson, would you then go to Steve Kerr and say, what?
Well, I'm not the coach of Golden State
I know,
anymore.
but come on, have some fun with me. All right? You coach Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson is a guy that I would not trade.
For Kevin
he's
Love?
A guy that, no. And I love Kevin Love, no pun intended. Klay Thompson is a guy that deserves max money. In my opinion, he's the best two-way shooting guard in the world. His ability to score on the offensive end, shoot the basketball, and his ability to defend at a high level, the 1, the 2, and the 3.
Wait, you think he's the best two-guard in the game?
I said he's the best two-way shooting guard in the league.
Okay.
So he's the best guy that has the ability to play both sides of the basketball. He's a high-level defender, and he's a guy that can score the basketball. And he's no maintenance. He's an unbelievable guy that's going to make a lot of money in this league. So I would say no. And I think Kevin Love is going to make, if he stays in Minnesota, he's going to have a great year. If he goes somewhere else, he's going to make a team an automatic, legitimate championship caliber team.
How close were you to getting the Cavs job?
I wasn't close. You got to ask them. I wasn't close at all, in my opinion.
Did they have any idea when you interviewed with them that LeBron was coming back?
I have no idea.
They didn't say anything?
No. There wasn't really. I mean, we had a couple of conversations. It wasn't that was. I wouldn't even classify it as interview or serious talks, anything like that. If
you were coaching the Cavs,
I'm not, Dan.
I know. How about if you're the GM of the Cavs?
I'm not.
Okay. When did you stop being fun?
I've always been fun.
No, you're not.
Okay, what's your question?
What's your question? If I'm the GM of the Cavs, what do? Do I trade Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett to get Kevin Love?
See, you got to ask me. Not if I'm the GM. I'm a media guy. So would I do it? And my answer is absolutely yes. I do it in that situation because although I think that Andrew Wiggins is going to be a heck of a basketball player and is going to have a great career, Kevin Love is a guy that's ready today. He's a top-notch player in the world today. And you add him alongside of LeBron James and special talent in Kyrie Irving, you put yourself in position to not just win now, but you look pretty good moving forward. So it's a trade that I would make today if I were the Cavs. Now, how about that for being fun?
All right, it's good. I appreciate that. I'm used to you buying a dog because you're afraid of my questions here.
I have 2 dogs.
You got a kennel, Mark. You got a kennel. I told you. What do you think LeBron is saying by going back to Cleveland? As far as his legacy goes, how we're going to view him. Does this take the pressure off him in any way to win championships?
No. He's still going to try to win championships. And I just want to say this. We killed people talked about LeBron the first time with the decision. Mm-hmm. And whether you agreed with it or not, I didn't really have a big issue with it. But no matter what, he took a hit for it. I don't think enough credit is being given to him and his people for the spectacular job that they did in handling this entire free agent process and selecting Cleveland. There was no unnamed sources. There was no questions. Guys were all over the map, the experts, the specialists. At the end of the day, he made a decision to follow his heart, and he listened to the people that was close to him, and I thought it was an incredible job of handling the free agent process. So I think he doesn't get enough credit for it, but he followed his heart, and at the end of the day, we're going to judge him for his body of work, and he truly will go down in the discussion with anybody that's ever played this game.
I think he took a little bit of pressure off because at the Heat, I don't think he had fun with the Heat. When you go out and you have to win, we expect you to win, and it's, you only won by 7. What's wrong with you guys? I think going back to Cleveland, he might be able to have a little more fun, but I don't think he'll escape the expectations of, especially they get Kevin Love. Then the Heat, no pun intended, the Heat's on again for them to win, for him to win a championship.
Yeah, and covering the Heat at the end of the year, I will say he's a guy, and even watching him and playing against him, I would argue the case against what you said. He had fun. I thought he had a great time. You know, you go to the finals 4 times in 4 years. You win 2. He had a lot of fun. And I think that in going back home to Cleveland is not trying to take away the pressure, because at the end of the day, he's the best player in the world. The pressure is going to be there. We don't give him an out because he's in Cleveland. We expect the Cleveland Cavaliers to have a legitimate chance of going deep in the playoffs and winning it all. And it's because of LeBron James. That's why Vegas changed the odds.
Yeah.
So the pressure is going to be on him no matter where he goes. And I think it's something that he fully embraces.
You think Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer?
Yes, he is.
Get out of here.
Well, he's a 9-time All-Star.
Oh, big deal. How many times did he win an All-Star in Toronto?
Dan.
Come on, Mark.
Disregard your heart and just look at the facts.
I'm just a player, Mark. I'm just a player sizing up a player.
No, you're a player hater.
Wait, did you give me a hate? Am I a hater or a hate?
No. You know, you from the suburbs. To me, you're a player hate.
Yeah, I don't see Bosh the Hall of Famer.
Well, he's a 9-time All-Star.
All right, nice.
He's a gold medalist.
Oh, great.
He still has more to go. Look at Manu Ginobili. He's a Hall of Famer.
Ginobili's more of a Hall of Famer than Chris Bosh is.
Chris Bosh was the best player on his team.
On what
and
team?
The Toronto Raptors. They went to the playoffs.
Mark, come on. How hard is it to be the best player on the Raptors? I'd be the second best player.
You're not being fair. You sound like Jeff Van Gundy, who argued me when I said that Paul Pierce's number will be hanging in the Raptors.
It will be.
And I know, but he argued against it. And Chris Bosh will be a Hall of Famer, and you'll say I was wrong. I know you have a tough time saying that, but you're going to say I was wrong.
He's going to be in the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame.
When did you stop being fun, man?
Man, I'm too much fun is what I am. Way too much fun. Hey, always good to talk to you. Are you coaching next year, or what are you going to do?
Well, as of right now, I'm calling games and looking forward to spending a lot of time with the family and obviously the church in Southern California. But the phone is still on. I answered your call, so we'll see how it plays out.
You must not be going well if you answer my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe you just stay close to home, coach the Lakers.
There you go.
Maybe. Do you want me to come in and do a little guest spot at your church?
Oh, no.
No, you don't. Well, you don't.
With you, we got to make sure we have like a 10-second
delay.
What is that? Yeah, delay. Yeah.
Oh, come on. I can clean it up. I will bring the house down, and I will sing too.
Oh my God! I did hear you sing before, so you're fine.
I will do Hallelujah.
I can't keep a straight face. Hallelujah.
I'll bring some noise. I promise you.
That's a date. I will have you first speak to my man.
Don't hate the player. Don't hate the player. Hate his sermon.
It's a done deal, man.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you.
Thank
you, Mark. That's Mark Jackson. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty.